Hey guys, I wanted to do another video today. I did one yesterday kind of touching on some stuff that I wanted to cover in my upcoming blog series that I'm going to be doing, and I just kind of wanted to run some stats by you. So I'm just going to kind of get right into kind of what I was researching today and kind of show you a little bit why this is so important to me that I share this, because I think it's important that people are aware of how serious this anxiety disorder is, and just the general overall aspect of taking care of yourself and how it can affect you mentally and physically. And as a health and fitness coach, you know, it's very important to me that people understand the importance of taking care of themselves. And it's not just about, you know, your physical health, it's your mental and internal health. So I wanted to run by these, give you some of these stats that I discovered today, which honestly were quite staggering, but I'm not surprised. So basically, mental illness is, anxiety rather, is the most common mental illness. And 40 million adults, meaning anyone 18 and older, have been diagnosed with this or have suffered from it. And so that's just adults. That's not even mentioning children, which I know from experience that kids suffer from anxiety. And I think right now in our culture, it's very common for the pressure that is on them for them to have probably more likely to have anxiety nowadays than, just even, 10, 20 years ago. So 40 million adults have some form of this illness, and only about a third of those 40 million people seek treatment, whatever that treatment might be. And so, not that, I'm more of an advocate for natural treatments, but I do know that even people that suffer from it don't do anything. They don't seek any help from medications or trying to find a natural way of helping themselves with their anxiety. So, a third of the people are getting help and the rest of them are just kind of dealing with it. Generalized anxiety disorder, which is basically not a phobia or categorized under something else, but more of a general disorder. That one, it has this statistic that I was reading shows that 6.8 million people have this generalized anxiety disorder, and two times or women are twice as likely to suffer from anxiety disorder. So that means twice as many women than men are having issues with anxiety, which is, again, I guess I'm not surprised because women do take on a lot of stress with being moms and trying to work, carry. And so I think that's not that surprising, but still very disheartening to think that many people suffer from this on a regular basis. And so then some of the other stats I thought were really, really kind of eye-opening is, people that suffer from anxiety, they're 3 to 5 more times more likely to go to the doctor for ailments and for different things, and they're six times more likely to be hospitalized for psychiatric disorders. So they're going to the doctor more. They're probably paying a lot more in medical bills and for medications and so forth, just because they're suffering from this unfortunate disorder. So a couple of ways that people get this disorder, and not everybody knows exactly how they get it or why. And there can be some environmental factors or just your environment, your upbringing, but some of it's genetics, some of it's just your brain chemistry, some of it's just your personality. You kind of have a hard time dealing with stress, and you kind of take it on as this anxiety. And life events, things that just happen in your life that can cause you to have undue stress and can cause this anxiety. The other kind of scary factor is that a lot of times people that suffer from anxiety also have a more likely chance of being depressed and suffering from depression as well, which is a scary thing to think of when you compile that with the symptoms of anxiety. So the last stat that I wanted to share is about kids. And so this particular study was done on 13 to 18 year olds, which is the age of my boys. 25% of 13 to 18 year olds and 5% 25% of 13 to 18 year olds have diagnosed anxiety disorder. 5% of them, or actually I believe it was 5% above and beyond that, 25, have severe anxiety disorders. And, and that study also showed that female children were more likely, not double, but more likely than the male children to have this anxiety. And the other interesting thing was there wasn't a big difference in race or demographics. I think it was just, just a general study. The final thing that was really eye-opening for me, again, with this stat being for kids that are the same age as my kids, and you think of college students and kids getting ready to go off to school, children with anxiety are more likely to perform poorly in school. And the sad thing is they're also more likely to miss out on social experiences because of their anxiety. They decide they don't want to be involved in activities. They don't want to go out and enjoy activities because the fear of having an anxiety attack or just the anticipation of the unknown is too much for them to be able to enjoy those experiences. And they'll miss out on, opportunities to enjoy vacations and outings because of their anxiety. And a lot of times, the final stat that I read is that these kids that are suffering from anxiety are more likely to kind of get into substance abuse and, dabble in drugs and alcohol and those sorts of things. So that's a scary stat. So my hope and my goal with this new blog series that I'm going to be doing is that I will provide some tips and some resources and some great insights on ways to naturally help with anxiety. I'm not saying that everybody can be cured naturally, but I think there are a lot of things that can be done, a lot of steps that can be taken that can help eliminate or at least lessen some of the symptoms of anxiety. Our bodies are designed to operate, and function in a very particular way, and when we're not feeding it properly and not letting it do its thing, it can make it really hard for people to function efficiently. So I'm hoping to kind of give some insight into that. I'll be posting my blog tomorrow. I'm going to be putting some resources and some websites in there where I found some of this information. But again, please don't hesitate to ask me if there's something specific you want me to research and do. I'd love to do that. That's kind of why I'm doing this, is to help other people and give them insight and tips that will be helpful to them. And if you find this helpful and you'd like to share it with somebody, please share this video, and I'll be posting the link for my blog tomorrow, and you guys can share that as well. But I hope that this is helpful, you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great afternoon.